Dog gives birth, then doctors realize they're not puppies. Dogs have loads of surprises up their sleeves. They don't wear sleeves, but you get the point. You can never know when your lovely pupper will decide it's time to snag that bit of meat off the table or to run off barking at the neighborhood cat. Well, dogs can also surprise you in other ways, like this particular pregnant dog that was found struggling in the streets under the sun and was rescued. And then 15 puppies happened, leaving its rescuers shocked, in a good way, of course, with how much this doggy family grew in a day. Meet Little Mama, the stray pregnant brindle pit bull mix who was rescued by Stephanie Fikes, 28, a bartender, and Justin Ritchie, 28, a yoga instructor, and both artists who love animals a great bunch. Bored Panda got in touch with them for an interview. Fikes was on her way to the store when she noticed a dog in the parking lot, panting under the heat of the sun with her full-blown belly, indicating she's expecting a litter. She was malnourished and dehydrated. Worried that the dog might be in labor, Fikes called the mama dog into her car and brought her to Richie's house and made her comfortable by giving her some food, water, and keeping her cool. The two also took Little Mama to the vet to make sure everything was in order. About 20 ticks and a very much needed flea bath later, the vet said the doggo was in good shape, ready to give birth. It was not clear when the birth would happen specifically, as he guesstimated anywhere between 5 minutes to 5 days. Also, unfortunately, they found no chip, so they couldn't trace the dog to any owner. So they took the mom-to-be home and made all of the necessary arrangements to welcome her puppies into the world. Little Mama spent another week with them when Fikes noticed that she'd start to give birth. She's definitely calm, but I would say it's still too early to tell with all of the puppies. But she's clearly an incredible dog, explained Richie what Little Mama is like. There's no way she has spent her whole life as a stray. She's housebroken, good with other animals, great with new people, and an excellent mother. She only lets Steph and me into the bedroom where the puppies are, but she just gives a warning growl to other people, nothing aggressive. We've truly fallen in love with this sweet soul. They're not puppies, it's a tribe. Stephanie was comforting Little Mama when she said, "I don't want to be dramatic, but I think that's a puppy," said Richie. We made guesses while she was giving birth. I said 6 to 8 puppies, and Steph said 9 or 10. Neither of us expected 15. Yep, you read correctly. 15 puppies later, the two friends now had a family of 16 dogs on their hands. In context, 5 to 6 puppies is considered the average number among birthing dogs, and the world record for the largest litter was set in 2004 by a Neapolitan Mastiff named Tia with 24 puppies, so 15 is a lot. Needless to say, the two were shocked with this, in the good sense, as Richie explained. We were absolutely surprised. Of course we were shocked, but we feel like this big family was meant to happen, and it's been an amazing experience that neither of us will forget. Fortunately, all of the puppies were delivered safely, after which everyone involved was super exhausted but blessed. The birthing process lasted for almost the entire day, so you can imagine why. Now, Little Mama can't physically feed and take care of all of her babies at once, so Fikes and Richie lent her a hand by feeding the puppies formula. For the time being, the puppies spend their days napping and feeding, but no worries, they're getting ready for when the 15 little critters will start walking and causing shenanigans around the house. The hardest part is making sure everyone gets milk. Little Mama only has so many nipples, and some of them don't work until very recently. So it feels like we're constantly giving someone a bottle or rotating them on Little Mama, elaborated Richie. Other than that, they sleep, eat, and poop. We know the hard part hasn't gotten here yet. We're preparing my home and backyard for the puppy tornado coming through in a couple of weeks. The plan now is to give the loving pupper a family home as Fikes and Richie work towards finding good forever homes for the puppies. Apart from finding the right people to take the puppies in, the two also need to make sure all of the pups get their shots and are taught basic doggy etiquette so they don't bring the house down. So far, with the help of social media and friends, the two are well on their way to making a list of interested adopters who'll be taking the pups when they are of the right age. Okay, now the fun part. They all have names. Here's how Richie introduced them. We decided to name the puppies after food. We're naming them as they grow. Some have names and some don't, but the names we've decided on are Hoagie, Tofu, and Tempeh, twins. Basil, Biscuit, and Gravy, more twins. Fig, Roux, Queso, Gumbo, Thyme, Falafel, Ginger, Cookie, and Sage. Your readers will have to follow our Instagram to find out who is who, though. You heard the man. Get on it. The internet loved this story, with many expressing their gratitude for the kind hearts that took little Mama in and marveling at how adorable the family of puppers are, especially at the idea of how strong the mother was to endure such a lengthy birth. You can follow the life of this amazing dog family on Instagram here, and heads up, there's also a GoFundMe campaign which would help them pay for formula, food, shots, and other things they might need, so do consider donating. We want to raise and adopt these puppies the right way, which includes excellent nutrition, basic training, and their first round of shots. We're also trying to bring little Mama back to good health and get her spayed as soon as we can. We've set up a GoFundMe for anyone who wants to donate to little Mama and the puppies, explained Richie. The bulldog puppy, who's being called Fiona after the ogre princess in Shrek, will lose her green coloring in the weeks ahead. Trevor Mosher and Audrey Rise have been calling their new puppy Fiona, after the ogre princess from the film Shrek, and with one look at the dog's fur, it's easy to see why. According to Global News, Rise and Mosher's 3-year-old Valley Bulldog, Freya, gave birth to 7 healthy puppies, one right after the other on January 27th in Nova Scotia. Shortly after Freya sat down to rest with her new puppies, the bulldog gave birth to one more puppy. This young canine was born surrounded by a black sack, distinctly different from the translucent sacks the other puppies had. Rise and Mosher were worried something was wrong with the last puppy until the baby dog started to move and make noise. As the married couple cleaned the last puppy off, they realized the canine's light fur had a bright green tint. So we Googled it. My puppy is green. What's wrong? And apparently it's very rare, and it has happened a few times all over the world, Mosher told Global News. According to CNN, light-colored dogs are born green on rare occasions, likely after contact with biliverdin, a green pigment found in bile, while in the womb. The pigment dyes the fur before the puppy is born, and the color fades after the puppy enters the world. Rise told People that Freya's healthy green puppy, who she shares with American Bulldog Loki, is already starting to lose her odd coloring and is now a light lime green. Another dog owner has named a new puppy after a character from Shrek, after her chocolate Labrador gave birth to a green puppy. 2-year-old mother Millie had 4 male puppies and 1 girl during her first litter. But gender wasn't the only difference that marked the female puppy from her brothers, because she emerged not golden like the others, but green. The green tinge is down to overexposure to a substance called biliverdin, which can be found in the placenta. It's a rare condition, and owner Elaine Cooper believes their pup could be just the 3rd case in the world. Elaine and husband Mark have now nicknamed the pup Fifi after the famous green ogre princess Fiona from Shrek. Elaine, of Chorley Lanks, said she came out in the sack, so we thought that it was the placenta that made her look very dark. We thought she was a black Labrador. But when Millie started to lick the placenta off, she actually had a green tinge. We were laughing and saying, "No, this can't be green. All the others are golden, and this one's green. It's to do with the placenta, so it's not a phenomenon. It's just very rare in dogs." We were a bit shocked, then laughed and thought, "Oh my, is it okay?" Elaine, 56, and 46-year-old Mark are planning to sell the puppies once they're old enough. She added, "The color's faded now and she's doing well, even though she was the smallest one of the litter. She's so sweet." Elaine, who owns a motorhome business, has researched the condition online and has found just 2 other cases of Labradors born green, one in Spain and the other in Clayton-le-Moors, Lancaster, in 2012. While it stains, Fifi's green tinge is only temporary, and she'll soon resemble her boisterous brothers. This dog owner was given the shock of her life when her beloved golden retriever gave birth to a green puppy. 3-year-old Rio gave birth last week to a litter of 9 puppies, but when one came out mint green, Louise Sutherland was speechless. The extremely rare occurrence is thought to have only happened 3 times before in the world. It's caused by a bile pigment called biliverdin that is found in the placenta of dogs. The substance can stain the puppy's coat when it mixes with the mother's amniotic fluid, the liquid that protects and nourishes the pup. Mrs. Sutherland from Goldsby in the Highlands has now named the pup Forrest in recognition of her unusual shade. She said, "The first pup was stuck, so myself and my daughter Claire managed to free him and pull him out safely." She said it was all hands on deck, but then as the puppies started to arrive, we noticed that one of the puppies had green fur. We couldn't believe it. We then checked it out later and found out it's very unusual and to do with the placenta. The color has faded quite a bit already and will be gone soon, I'm told. We've named him Forrest. A couple from Lancashire, whose chocolate Labrador gave birth to a green puppy in February this year, found only 2 other similar cases, including one in Spain. Mrs. Sutherland said Rio had a total of 7 boys and 1 girl, and they're all great and growing like mushrooms. This is her second litter, but the first was much more normal, a 5-hour labor and 5 pups, 2 girls and 3 boys. But this will be her last. Mr. Sutherland has managed to find good homes for all the puppies, but is planning to keep Forrest for herself. Puppies can turn green because of a green bile pigment called biliverdin that is found in the placenta of dogs. What are your thoughts on this? Got some puppy birth stories you'd like to share?